What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat. I'm here with Slim Numbers, and we're going to talk first about why we loved, or didn't, I can't assume for Slim, the TMNT crossover. And then we're going to talk about a crossover that Slim thinks needs to come to the game. Is coming? I don't know. I'm not in his head. I'm letting his head drool out for all of you to see here. So Slim, tell me first of all, did you like the TMNT event or not, and why?
Yeah, absolutely. For some reason, it sticks out in my head as like the most fun and the most engaging of the crossover events that we've had. Um, Outside of maybe some zombie months, and I'm not even sure if zombies really count at this point.
Yeah, they're
Um,
kind of their own thing.
but yeah, the Turtles event was just it felt like to me like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All of the characters after they were reworked ended up being a lot of fun. Um, some of them were a little when they first launched, but when they got fixed, they were really cool. And if I remember correctly, there was like week-long events, and the first time I
Yeah.
did it, that week-long event was relatively obtainable and a little bit grindable and a little bit acceleratable. And
Yeah.
um, I don't know, I really enjoyed the Turtles crossover event.
I did too. I did too. A couple big reasons, and one I've got on screen is Shredder was free, and he's phenomenal. Like, I would have been happy with just Michelangelo as the free character. It would have been like the Ghostbusters pattern where you get one and then all the rest are super expensive. But not only did we get Michelangelo, we also got Donatello for playing. I mean, he was grindable. And then we got Shredder in the TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze style event. And frankly, all three of them, like Michelangelo, I don't use a ton, but Donatello is he's got an amazing power rating. He hits super hard, and Shredder has like three different builds that are all really really good. So that was the win for me. I'll talk about the things I didn't like here in just a moment, which includes a couple of the other characters, but or at least one. But yeah, I thought like let me ask you this: do you still use Shredder at all? Not to put you on the spot.
Um, Actually, Shredder was the one that I used the least.
Oh, okay.
Um, Yeah, but for some reason, I used Shredder the least, and when I did use him, I used his bleed sub setup,
Yep.
which is not ideal. Let me look at my roster. Why was that? Why was Shredder your least?
I
There
don't
was a
know.
time though, where both Michelangelo and Donatello were among my most used,
Okay.
and were head of the class for their respective class.
Right.
So, um, for Showboat, I was very Showboat poor for a very long time. So Kofi carried me a long way. Um, little bit cascade prone, but never really been too upset by cascading. And I know I'm a
Yeah.
rarity out there, but doesn't doesn't hurt my feelings too awful bad.
Yeah.
And then Donatello was my top trickster for a long time.
He's
Um,
very good.
like a long, long time. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the rework. So originally Donatello got an okay. Well, if I could spell Donatello got an okay score on the power ratings, and then they reworked him, and he became like one of the best tricksters in the game. And we'll talk about Raphael here in a minute. But Donatello's rework was unexpected. Like behind the scenes, all of the CCs were begging for them to rework Raphael because aside from his coaching ability, he was like at first, and then they reworked him and he was phenomenal. But Donatello went from strength to strength basically with his setup. So I could totally see him being to this day some people's best trickster or up there.
This actually unlocked a core memory.
Oh,
I'm not sure
ding.
if this is the right place for slim numbers lore, but
Sure, go for
the
it.
original, the OG Donatello before he got reworked, was a very important part of Slim Numbers lore. And then the rework Donatello is also important. So
Okay.
when I first started my journey here, one of the first videos I ever made, let me go back to it. I don't want to find the name. One of the first videos I ever made, it was 14 and a half minutes long. So I have always been making too long videos, uh, in case anybody's curious. Um, where it was put out there into the world that the last ride plate didn't work on Donatello's trap gym setup.
Okay.
That didn't sound right to me, so I wanted to figure out a way to do it. And then I discovered that when you broke his old school trap gyms, it actually applied gym defense to the opponent's character, so
Hmm.
that when the opponent tried to kick out, their kick out damage would increase.
Okay.
I published that video on November 9th of 2024. It is still one of the most watched videos on my channel.
Nice.
100% so. And then I think if I go back, my second Donatello video was a bleed build for Donatello, which is still viable to the not viable, but still usable to this day. It's not the way anybody should run it. I'm not
Yeah.
recommending anybody run it, but I found this bleed build that was cool. And I was trying to figure out how to do some self promotion. And so I cold called a content creator. His Discord name is Night of the Sun, and I asked him if he would watch this Donatello video and if I could be added to his Discord as a content creator so I could share my videos. And to my absolute surprise, this content creator said yes. I'm not sure if I've ever done it publicly, but Lee,
Wow.
thank you. You were one of the reasons why I have a little bit of a voice here. And it's
Oh,
because of the Donatello videos that I made and the graciousness of allowing me to use your Discord and even checking out that video.
yeah.
So, the numbers lore is all about Donatello and the TMNT event, and I completely forgot and spaced on it until I started looking at the animations here, and I was like, oh yeah, hold
Yeah.
on,
Wait a
I've done
second.
videos about this guy
I
before.
recognize this guy. Yeah. Well, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
Anything we can do to help the community, but also, your content's great. So that it helps that, when you're like, look at this guy, and you're not like, oh, but, like, no, it's really great stuff. So make sure, as always, you follow Slim Numbers on YouTube and Twitches because, again, he makes great content. And it's also awesome to have you here, just doing these with me for a bit too. So, dang, unlocked the feels as well.
okay. Core
Oh,
core memories unlocked talking about Ninja Turtles and wrestling,
I know.
as
Well,
every
that's my
good
childhood.
zillennial should. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Like I still on my shelf right here, I still have the original He-Man with all of his glory. So you know what?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my childhood right there. Ninja Turtles, He-Man. I mean, the crossovers that they're doing, I think, are just amazing, and this was one of them. So, Rusty, who for those who didn't know, he's taking a little bit of break while he's going through a really difficult and challenging semester at school for a master's degree. So, Rusty has said up and down, left and right, that the one thing he regrets from the TMNT event is that he had to make a choice between Raphael and Leonardo, and he chose Leonardo, and he was happy with that, except for when he felt like he was missing out because he didn't have Raphael. Did you experience a similar choice? Did you get both? How did that work out for you?
So, so, I chose Raphael.
You what? You cut out a little bit.
I chose Raphael
You chose Raphael. Okay.
instead of Leo, and I'm not saying that I chose poorly. I am saying that Rusty chose wisely.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think that in the grand scheme of the game, looking at their coaching abilities, one of them is a little bit more ubiquitous than the other one, especially since the tail end of the six-star gold meta was so heavily gym damage driven.
Mm.
And the two ways to skyrocket gym damage are multiply gyms and moves that increase a percentage of your self. Leonardo is more versatile as a coach than Raphael is. Although
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how Leonardo does as a fighter, but Raphael is a killer. He's just he is a two-click swipe and away you go. Now,
Yeah.
200% added to power gems is not anything to sneeze at, and it does make a handful of cards usable.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame DDP is one
Yep.
of them. The Disciple is great.
Yep.
Um, if you want to take a little bit more
Streaker
time,
Goldberg.
Batista.
Yeah.
Great bird. Yeah.
especially since they reworked
If you
him.
have if you have somebody that could do about 250,000 per power gem and you make a handful of power gems, you're going to want Raphael.
Yeah.
Sure. Um, and there's people that make multiply gems. And every time I see a Leonardo, or every time I see a character build that recommends Leonardo, get a little sad inside because you see more Leonardos show up that are necessary than Raphaels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is hard. So I went the secret third way and just spent a bunch of money and got both of them. But
Got
it
both.
did cost me to do that. In fact, I think so. That was it was right before I had been hired on to my other full time job, but I hadn't started it yet. There was like a month in between, so I was working a temp job just to get things going with a buddy of mine. And like during breaks, I was like, okay, I have X number of pulls I can do this week. And there was the shredder event where it was like you have to, if you do pulls each day, it gets you. So literally, it was before I knew how to do slim numbers math. I was just sitting there going like, okay, if I spend this day, this day, do this number of pulls this day, like I'll end up with it. And luckily I was right. And that was also the event. So reason why I loved this event, I was pulling because of the format. Like that's how this game gets you sometimes. I wasn't even pulling to get a specific character. I was just pulling so that it would unlock my path to, well, I guess I was pulling for the character, but I wasn't expecting to get them in the loot. And I ended up getting OTC Roman in the loot, chasing Leonardo and Raphael. So I ended up having to spend to get the coin I needed, and Prize Wall recruited those two. I think no, I think I got Leonardo out of the loot too. I would have to go back to my loot videos, but either way, one way or another, I got OTC and Ray and Leo that month, and I don't know that I've had a better month in Champions or a more expensive one, to be quite honest, because I pulled birthday loot, I think, or something like that. I remember I had money coming from one of my family members like, what do you want for whatever it was, Father's Day, birthday, or something. I think it was birthday, and I was like, just buy me pulls. That's all I want. So, oh goodness. Downtime Fun says I wasn't playing during this time. How was the event set up? I mean, they've done other events since then that were like this, but it was a 2 week mini MLC. Week one was you were playing for one prize wall, and then week two you were playing for a different prize wall. One was like pizza slices, the other was like pizza boxes or whatever it was. And basically you kind of had two goals. One was like the light spend option, which was the week one prize wall, and the other was the big spend option, which was week two. So your hair up and square up can use this trainer. Hey, that's right. Yeah, that was good. So let's talk about. Okay, so some people got Leo, some got Ray, few got both. But how do we? First off, before we go to Casey, because Casey's the one I want to talk about in a moment. Before we go to Casey, how do we feel about vital vital coaching abilities being locked behind limited time characters? What are your thoughts on that, Slim?
I don't like
I
it.
set you up.
Um, yeah, well, okay, so no, I've ranted about this before, and this seems like a good place to any to rant. I am not a very, I'm not as, I'm okay with having training and coaching abilities being gate kept as long as there is a way to reasonably approximate what is happening.
Right.
All right. For instance, Leo gives you plus three multipliers on every multiply gem that gets generated. Um, because I don't have Leo, it has been part of my life mission in this game to prove that you don't really need him. And I think I've done it. I have
Yeah.
multiple videos on my channel showing where the zombies, many
Mm-hmm.
of which were obtainable, like Gunther, Chelsea, and Brett, and then depending on other forces, maybe even Bailey, um, you can kind of approximate the damage boost you get from Turtle Leo through zombies and very clever training entourage setups. So, in all actuality, I'm not quite as mad that I don't have Leo, but man, it would be really nice. In some situations, actually,
Yeah.
um, which I think I saw on your OTC Roman stream,
Hmm.
that came from that event.
Yep.
You asked the community if anybody out there can do the math, please let me know. And I spent 9 months figuring out that math. Champion
Wow.
Chat podcast really is the entire genesis of my entire content creation life, I guess, now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Anyway,
Wow.
um, Raphael, however, is not something that can really easily be replicable.
Right.
You've got Kofi, of course, but Kofi's a trainer instead of a coach. And the
Yeah.
coaches that you can get for power gyms, you can't get them to add up to 200. You've got Striker Bliss, you've got Matt Riddle, Tech Matt Riddle, you've got, I just don't remember who the third is.
Uh,
So that's to say that Leo is actually less important in a training situation than Raphael is. So maybe I understand why he is mad about it. But
yeah.
that goes for
Hmm.
all limited time characters. There's no reasonable way to replicate what a Ghostbuster trainer can do, right? That
Right.
minus 10 MP, no way to replicate it. You can't do it. And that's pretty tough.
Right.
Um, Especially now with hype, and there are some limited MP down coaches and trainers that are out there. Now that you can't replicate it whatsoever, there's a glaring hole, and there needs to be a some way, shape, or form. If it is going to be a coaching or training ability that is either unique, impactful, or both, it needs to be a way to make a Timu version of it. And with the turtles, you can pretty much make a Timu version of it for the most part. But with some of the other ones, you absolutely can't. And that is something that I absolutely vehemently uh, uh, will rage against consistently.
Yep.
And I think rage is the right word, rage against the machine. Just,
Yeah.
God, you're going to need to fix it. You need to fix it somehow. And there's been a bunch of great ideas tossed out there.
Right.
Um, I think now it's just, are the developers, are Scopely, are they actually going to make that change? No, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of my big struggles is having limited time events where the characters from that are must have trainers or coaching abilities. I would rather see them do, and they've done a better job, I think, of it since the turtle events, to be honest, but I'd rather see them like put out a garbage character that has an amazing coachability and then sell them at a premium, but know that you could eventually shard recruit them. Versus, we know now, I don't know if they've lost the turtle license yet. That has not been confirmed. I do know that the license for Ghostbusters is gone. I do know, some of these other licenses are gone. But it does seem like there's a real possibility we'll never see these characters available in the game again. And like, for example, the only one of these that I missed was Cody Jones, Casey Rhodes here, and Casey Jones was like my favorite TMNT character growing up. He was always my favorite, and I wanted that character, but I just could not spend to get him. And just knowing that, like, literally there's probably no path to ever seeing that character in the game, it makes those who have him like, yay, I got this. But for everybody who doesn't, it's like, I don't know, part of me, like, there's always going to be a hole in me because like I didn't get Ryback, and I don't want Ryback aside from the fact that I can't get Ryback on my roster ever. I can't get Stardust or Arn Anderson or whatever. So like I hope for nothing else they do a TMNT 3 event, even though TMNT 3 was by far the worst movie. Just saying, just so that I could get a Casey Jones. Personally, I would love that. So,
So, so I think we can take past performance as a future indicator here, and that's terrible financial advice. But in the game, I think you can actually do this. It's my second. I think Turtles is my favorite crossover event.
okay.
My second favorite is probably the Rocky event.
Yeah?
The Rocky characters are cool, man. I like Rocky. I don't know what to tell you. I like all the movies, I like the character. Whenever they're on TV, I will always stop and watch them. I will never change the channel. Um, and they had a one last hurrah Rocky event where they're like, "Hey, we understand that Tech Rocky is a great trainer. Here you go. Here's one last shot to get him.
Right.
I think the Ali moment was tied into that event somewhere. Like, hey, we know that Ali gets super good with this moment. Here's one last hurrah for it. I could be mixing this, but I know you could go back and get the Rocky characters you didn't have. That's where I got Apollo, actually.
Right.
Um, they would be foolish to not do a 1 week last hurrah for the Turtles before the license expires because people like you and if Rusty's off sabbatical by this point in time, Rusty would go little outside of their comfort range,
Yeah.
trying to get the one they didn't get that they really want. And
Right.
I know I'm not alone in the community. I guarantee you, everybody in Twitch chat right now would be like, "Yeah, no, maybe I can find an extra mega's worth for this 1 month. Just see if I can get what I need."
Yep.
It'd be foolish not to do it, and that's actually what's completely. That's the only shred of hope that I have to get Leo is in the back of my head. I know that they would be foolish to not give them one last send off before the license expires.
Yeah.
Um, there's my little shred of hope to finally get Leonardo on my roster.
Yeah. Well, it gives me a shredder of hope too. But if there were, I know you saw that. If there were a TMNT 3, what I would really love to see, yes, Casey being in there, yes, Leo and Roman, or I'm sorry, not, well, yeah, Shredder for those who didn't get him, but I meant Leo and Ray being involved in it. I still think there would be some fun characters to add. In particular, Becky Lynch as April O'Neil, I think is just a no-brainer. The red hair, all of that, like for the original. I would also now that because I've said that one before. Now that we have different sized characters in the game, I'm not being a sizist here, but I would love to see Hornswoggle as either one of two, either as Krang or as a Mouser. I think either one of those would be hilarious. And then Akira Tozawa as one of the Foot Clan. Just to shout back to that time he was randomly a ninja during the pandemic. Like, I would love to see those characters. Anybody you have in mind? Oh, who'd be
So
Irma? Nice.
I'm trying to look it up right now because there it is. I found it. Maybe right. All of the crossover characters line up with actual action figures for WWE characters.
Right.
You can go out and you can buy a physical copy of Kofi Michelangelo. You can
Yep.
buy a physical copy of Roman Reigns Shredder, and they look exactly like they do in the game.
Right.
There are other ones that didn't get reduced, and I'm trying to see if I can find them. Um, and that may be why we don't have extra ones, is because there's no other um,
There's no toys for sale with them.
no figures made for them.
Oh.
You're absolutely right, though. Becky Lynch being April O'Neil is a home run. It's a knockout. There's no reason why that wouldn't work
Hmm.
because it lines up perfectly. I think there's a world where um, and I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, you got to figure out a way to put Bebop and Rocksteady in. And I don't know which one's
Seamus.
Bebop and which one's Rocksteady, but Sheamus did play Rocksteady in a
Yeah.
different version of TMNT, so there's precedent there already.
Yes.
And I'd be fine with Sheamus as Rocksteady, which means if you're going to do Bebop, I guess you could do like an old bar throwback and have it be Rusev.
You
If
could.
Rusev's back in the company.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed would probably work as Rocksteady. Who else? I always thought that Akira Tozawa, when you brought that up, my first thought was the Samurai Rabbit, Yojimbo.
Oh, Yosagi
Um,
Yojimbo.
yeah, there you go. That's the guy. Um, just because he was a ninja at one point in time during the pandemic,
Yeah.
I feel like that would be cool.
Huh.
TMNT is a huge license, a huge property. Like WWE can go wild with it, and
Good. They could do
probably find
Omos
plenty
as
of people that would
Krang.
work.
Like he could just have a belly, but it be
Like he could be the
Omos.
yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool.
Omos
Hmm.
carrying around Hornswoggle.
Yeah. And you could never mind. I got bad ideas on this one. All right. I think are you running out of time, or do we have time to either add to this or maybe even make another video real quick about Street Fighter?
Well, I think we can tag it on here real quick.
Okay.
WWE has announced and released some toys, I think, or are planning to release some toys based around Street Fighter.
Okay. And that's usually a good
And
indicator because that's where we got these ones from and the Motu event from. So, yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's a good indicator. And Roman Reigns is Akuma in the upcoming movie, and Cody Rhodes is Guile in the
yeah,
upcoming movie, I think is what I saw. So now like, we got Street Fighter action figures and a movie coming out, and WWE is very involved. And I promise you, I will figure out a way to get Roman Reigns Akuma. Street Fighter 2 opened my eyeballs to fighting games, and I still off and on will play. I've had a love affair with fighting games ever since Street Fighter 2 in the arcades because I am that old and still play fighting games to this day.
yeah,
And Street Fighter 2 was everybody's like first part of that. So you're going to add Street Fighter content in the WWE Champions, which is something I have a passing interest in.
yeah,
Yes, please sign me up. Let me figure out a way to go a fireball at OTC Roman, right? Or any of that stuff. You can make the you can turn the game where they change the in-ring graphic to whatever MLC is happening at the time. They
yeah.
could change it to, the ages from the original Street Fighter
Oh, that
2,
would be
so you can have them
incredible.
all like with a towboat or the tugboat in the background, or the fighter jets in the background, or they can go to Dalsim stage where they got the elephants in the like. Oh, I'm so in. I am so in. 112%. Like I'm ready for Street Fighter X WWE Champion.
Well, and I always love the thing I love about the crossovers the most, and especially with the mutants crossover and then some of Shredder's moves on here, is the animations they do that are specially for. I guess even Ozzy, like how Ozzy, like Werewolf Ozzy has like, and then he disappears and comes back, or he like attacks them with lightning and that kind of stuff. I would love, love, love to see like Jacob Fatu as Blanca and him curl up in the ball and do the electric and that gets you. I mean, I would love to see the fireball. WWE is doing a DC Superman crossover figures. Fish can't swim. Oh, so you got to stick around in the game for that, and because I don't want to see you go. But yeah, oh, that would be fun too. Cody doing the guile kick, and then they just need to add in the "Are you Ken?" In there for somebody. I don't know who's going to be Ken.
It's
Maybe Akira Tozawa.
it's John Cena as Ryu, right?
Oh,
It
oh
has to be
yeah,
John Cena as Ryu, like the main character. And I know he's on his way out, but
right.
John Cena's been the main character in WWE for 20, 21 years, 22 years, at least
Mm,
since the Super Cena days. So yeah, he's the
right.
one who gets the fireball, the dragon punch, and the hurricane kick. Like
Yeah.
who else? Who else would it be? Or
Asuka is Chun Li, probably. I think that's a fair get. Or I mean, actually, they've got options. It could
sure.
be Kyrie, it could be Io. Io hasn't been in a crossover like that, so
Are you telling me that Liv Morgan wouldn't be the perfect Cammy? Get out of
Liv
here.
Morgan is
Get
Cammy.
out of here.
Yep, I could see
I don't
it.
know.
I could see it. Who's Bison though? Who's in Bison? Hmm.
What? I
Who?
didn't say anything.
Who? What?
Uh,
Who's Bison? What?
uh, um, Actually, no. Bison could be somebody like Andre the Giant, like a stereotypical big bad in the WWE.
Yeah.
Who do you have there? Like Andre the Giant. You could put Big Show. Well, probably not Big
Can't.
Show.
Yeah, not right now, anyway.
Um, who else? Have they really been any? Like, they got Roman as Akuma, who's also a big bad. Who
Right.
would be Bison?
I don't know. Like the
Oh, well,
Triple
they can't do
H.
that either. I guess they would have to do Triple H.
Yeah.
Because instantly my mind went to, you
The old
know,
guard.
Vinnie Mac.
Yeah.
But you're probably not putting him back in the game.
Allegedly, you can't do
So
that.
yeah, no. So yeah, I guess Triple H would probably be the best Bison.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. And then like Braun Breaker as or I guess Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins could be Bison, and then you could have Braun as Zangief. You could have Bronson Reed, or well, I guess no, Bronson definitely wouldn't be Vega. So maybe Braun is Vega, and Braun's son is Zangief. I don't know. Anyway, and you could have Balrog. You could just have another Mr. T in the game. Just add another boxer version of Mr. T in the game as Balrog, and we're good. So
Drop him in. We're ready to rock.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
I don't
funny.
know. I'm stoked. I know this is all theory crafting and hypothetical, but if you're out there listening, all Capcom, make it happen.
Come on, let's see a Street Fighter crossover in game. I would love it. We need some excitement to kind of to add to the hype or supplement it, whichever we think. So that's
Increase hype level.
increased hype. That's right. That's right. That's about all the time we've got for both this video and for the stream. Slim needs to go. And in about 20 minutes, there's this new Titan mode that's coming out. So make sure you check that out as well. As always, it's an honor to be on the stream here with both Iron Sheik and with Slim. Make sure you follow Slim Numbers. And when you say follow Slim Numbers, it's actually the word numbers, right? It's not the pound symbol. It's Slim, the word numbers.
The word numbers, yes.
Okay, so follow Slim Numbers on YouTube and on Twitch and wherever else you can find him. Just don't stalk him at home because that's weird. Don't be that guy. And we'll see you on the next one, friends. Bye.
Bye.